drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning?
I'm Paul Bennett at Downeast Thunder Creations here in Millbridge, Maine. We're located on Maine's Bold Coast, not very far from the U.S.-Canadian border. And this week, I'm going to begin a little series on how to make your own nets. What kind of netting? That's up to you, because once you learn the basic process of tying a net or knotting a net, you can make all different kinds and shapes of nets for different purposes. It's very basic. So this week, what I'm doing is I'm talking about the tools, and I'm going to show you how to make your own tools. Actually, there's only one tool you really have to make. This is a net needle, what we call it. Some people that do a lot of weaving call these shuttles, but we call it a net needle. A lot of other fishermen call it that, commercial fishermen. And if you don't have a commercial fishing supply house where you can find one of these, or you don't find one online, and they only cost about $1 or $2, and they come in all different sizes too. This one I think is nylon, some kind of plastic. They're inexpensive, they don't cost much, but you can't always find them wherever you're located, so you can make your own. So here's one that I made. I made this out of red oak because that's what I had, but you know, maple or some other hardwood might be a little bit better, it might be easier to work. I used my CNC, but you can certainly make it with hand tools. And once you have one of these, and you can make it any size you want, by the way, down in the description below the video, I'll let you know where you can download a full-size pattern that you can print out and put it over the wood and just cut it out. A little bit of adhesive on the back of the paper maybe. And you can enlarge it or you can shrink it to make different size needles. You can have a variety of them because the size of the needle, when you're making different mesh sizes, when you're putting a net together, you might want to use a larger needle because it'll also hold a lot more cord, and or maybe a smaller one. You might want to make a small mesh, and if you have a small mesh, you need a smaller needle because the larger one, of course, wouldn't fit. So just take the pattern and shrink it or enlarge it. Like I said, just go out and buy one if you can find them. So do that. Be ready, because I'm going to do another video to show you how to start making your own basic net. It's simple knot tying. There's nothing fancy, and so we'll concentrate on that. I'm going to show you a little bit later in this video. You're going to see this jig here I made for holding the line that I'm using, and you don't have to have one of these. It just makes life a lot easier. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you find it useful. And stay tuned for the next one when I show you how to start making your own net. By then, maybe you'll have a couple of these kicking around, so you have something to work with. You can make your own as well. And I want you to please give me a thumbs up, like the video, please share it, please subscribe. I'd really love to have you subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so you can make sure you get notified when the new episodes come out. Check out my Patreon page. So this is all a public service announcement. Just going to let you know about all this stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. It really helps when you're doing all that sharing and liking and stuff. That really helps my channel a lot. And so I do appreciate it. Welcome aboard if you decide to subscribe. See you next week. This jig right here I made over 40 years ago because I used to make a lot of different types of commercial fishing gear, and this will come in handy when you want to load up your net needle. This is also known by some people that are into weaving as a shuttle, but a lot of us just call it a net needle in commercial fishing, or people that make nets for boats and so forth. This jig makes it easy when I'm pulling line through It'll fit a variety of different types of line, different thicknesses. This is just a little piece of PVC that's in the wood. The dimensions don't matter. You can make one easily. You can see what it looks like if you want to duplicate it. It's not necessary to get this fancy. You could easily just take a little block of wood, stick a dowel, and take your thread and just place it over the dowel vertically and just draw off of that. But this came in handy for me. That's why I made it, for what I was doing at the time. I used to make a lot of hand trawls, tub trawls that is. So this is a good tool, but it's not absolutely essential. This tool is your net needle you'll need. This one you can buy at a, I don't know if you'll find it at a marine supply store. You might have to go to a commercial fishing supply store, and you may not have one near you. So if you don't have one near you, you can make your own. This is a piece of red oak. I cut it to 3/16 of an inch thick. You can make it thicker, you can make it 1/4 inch if you wanted to. I used my CNC machine, but you can make one of these with just regular hand tools. Just cut it out with a jigsaw or something. So it's not that difficult. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to include a full-size pattern, so you don't even have to take measurements. You can just download the pattern and print it out, and then just place it over a piece of wood and just cut it right out. And it'll be easy to make if you want to make your own. And you don't have to make this size either. You can take that pattern and you can enlarge it, you can shrink it, you can make these any size you want, because there are different size nets. I have a variety of these in different sizes. They're in storage somewhere. I don't know where they all went, but I do have them. I have larger ones, I have smaller ones. So depends on what size net, the square of the net, the mesh, what size mesh you want. And so feel free to make them larger or smaller. I have to apologize for all this loud background noise. It's pouring rain on our tin roof. It's been blowing about 40 to 45 knots. I have quite a storm today. So I'm sorry for that. This shop is not insulated, so when you get rain hitting the roof or hail or anything else, it really makes a lot of noise in here. So this week I'm going to show you how I made this, and you might want to try to buy or make your own netting needle, because this is part one, just showing you what I use for tools. And the next time around I'm going to start making an actual net, and I'll show you how to tie the knots, how to do simple net. Once you can make a simple net, you can put it into different sizes and shapes however you need, and we'll talk about that later. But for now, you want one of these, and you don't have to have one of these here, but it just makes life easier if you want to whip one together. And this was made from scraps, like I said, over 40 years ago, and it still serves me well today.